It was around August of 2020, out in Colorado City. The one that's in Pueblo County, in southern Colorado. I had been living in my truck after a breakup with my wife, and working at the restaurant that I'd been working at. Sleeping in whatever dark back road or discreet turnaround out in the hills that I could find and feel almost safe in for the night. The crazy stuff started happening, at least as far as I can pinpoint it, on a late summer evening as I was sitting with a couple friends out on a side road just before dark. We were just chilling there in the middle of nowhere, facing toward town. As it started getting dark, I noticed a light bouncing around in front of us. It looked like it could have been a person holding a flashlight or something, but it was at a position that would require the person to be off the ground about 50 feet. That was my best guess anyways, judging from around a half mile to a mile away. So I got my buddies to look at it, and they saw it too. We all just stared and watched it bouncing and swerving back and forth, about a mile at most away. None of us could quite say what it was, but we all knew that it was not normal. I then took out my binoculars and started looking that way with them, and to my surprise I was able to see the thing clearly enough to describe it to my friends. It looks kinda like a drone or something, but it's shaped like a pyramid. It's going back and forth across the ground, about 50 feet up, and it's shining some sort of dark light from side to side, seemingly scanning the ground in sections as it goes, was approximately what I'd said. Now, when I said it was shining a light, that's not exactly right. It wasn't really a light at all, but an almost absence of light. Not even like UV or anything I had ever seen, but pure black beams of some kind of energy, coming from the front of the craft and cast down on the ground below it. Something like 8 beams in a row closely bunched together, but still individually discernible, as they went side to side across the ground. All the while the craft was zigzagging and covering ground at a speed that I know I could have matched if I was close enough to run below it. Needless to say, all three of us were intrigued and very curious. So we went about trying to get its attention somehow. I flashed my headlights, to no avail. Started the truck, which made it stop and face us for only a moment. Then it went about its business as if nothing happened. I honked the horn a few times and revved the engine, which only caused one more quick turn toward us, but whatever it was, it didn't seem worried much. Just as we were getting to feel uneasy about what was happening, 2 or 3 more appeared, viewed in different areas in front of us. They were all doing the same sweeping of the ground, but together were working on covering probably a square mile. We continued debating and even tried shining a spotlight on the one closest, but it didn't acknowledge us again. Even after my friend shot his pistol at it, it never stopped scanning the ground or turned toward us again. This marked the first of many sightings and encounters I had with these things over the next several months during the pandemic. We continued to watch them as they made ground, until eventually they had covered the whole area up to where the main road was, into both roads on either side of the empty land in front of us. By then it was nearing dawn, and my companions and I were wondering how the time had gone so fast. As the light broke the horizon, all of the mysterious crafts started ascending toward the sky, straight up and at an even pace. Unhurried and in unison they climbed together until they were out of sight. It wasn't until my next encounter that I realized that they had disappeared long before my sight had failed to follow them.